In our last episode, Geppetto used the wood of a magical maple tree to carve a violin for Pinocchio. The violin proved as wonderful as the wood from which it came, granting the wishes of any who played it, as long as he did so for the good of others. Pinocchio played it for Princess Penelope, and so delighted was she that for the first time in memory she laughed. The curse of silence was lifted from her.
Don't go. Oh. The butterflies have all flown off. Can you make any more of them?
Sure, Princess, just watch.
These are even more beautiful than the others. Just look at them. Oh. But here I am being selfish. Would you care to dance, Pinocchio?
Why, I'd be honored, Princess.
For the first time in a long time, the walls of the castle echo with the sounds of music and happiness. But not everyone in the kingdom is overjoyed with this turn of events. There are those who fear this strange violin and its magical powers. One of these is Princess Penelope's father, the king.
Gentlemen, as you are my counselors, I expect you to advise me as to how we should deal with this Pinocchio fellow and his violin.
It seems to me the answer is simple, Your Majesty. Think what our army and navy could do with the weapons this violin can produce. Make him play it.
Your idea has some merit, General Zool, but we mustn't forget the gratitude we owe him. He did cure my daughter of her affliction, after all. I don't think we should force him to do anything he...
Make him play it and chop off his head if he won't.
Calm down. Just because you're Minister of War, there's no need to get violent. Besides, what's the rush? The boy seems to like it here. He's not going anywhere.
I agree. We'll have plenty of time to decide on this later.
No! Later will be too late, Your Majesty. If we wait any longer, that puppet may exhaust the magic of the violin.
Huh?
That's right. It can't go on producing things forever, and while we sit here wasting time, he's using up its power by creating such stupidities as toy soldiers and butterflies, when what we really need are guns and battleships and gold.
Remember, General, that's the king you're speaking to.
That's right, so keep your big nose out of it, old man.
Well, of all the nerve.
Gentlemen, I won't stand for this bickering. The decision is mine to make. And I'll make it in due time.
The puppet Pinocchio craves an audience, Your Majesty.
Excellent, excellent. Come forward, Pinocchio.
You wanted to see me, King?
I most certainly did, little fellow. I have something in mind that you could help me with.
Oh, anything, Your Majesty. You only have to ask.
Good, because this is important.
Oh, it is?
Come closer, boy. Don't be bashful. You see, as king, I'm responsible for the upkeep of the entire kingdom. And all the people in it, of course. It requires a great deal of money. For example, I have to make churches and build bridges and repair roads and all that sort of thing.
Huh. You really make all that happen by yourself? Why, you must be some kind of magician.
No, I'm afraid you don't quite understand. I have to pay out of my treasury to make these things happen. They all cost money. They're very expensive. Now, if you could play your violin and bring me a lot of gold, I could pay for all these things and everybody would be happy.
No, I'm afraid I couldn't do that. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sure you could if you put your mind to it.
I'm not supposed to ever use the violin for things like that. I made a solemn promise to the maple tree.
So, does this mean you refuse to grant me this favor?
I'm sorry, but I'm only supposed to use it for the good of others, not for gold and riches.
Well, it's for my good, you little puppet. I want that gold. Do you know what happens to those who disobey me?
No.
You will play your violin and fill my coffers with gold.
I can't.
Now, for the last time, you will do as I ask or you will pay with your life.
Okay.
Excellent. Enough. Much better. A young fellow like you should learn to be obedient to his elders. Now, let's hear that violin of yours.
Please forgive me, violin, but I have no choice. He'll kill me if I don't play you.
Hear me, Your Majesty. You will not use me to satisfy your greed. Shame on you! Shame on you! Your selfish ingratitude is unforgivable. You are not worthy to sit upon a throne or wear a crown. Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame
Stop!
on
How
you!
dare you, you little ingrate!
No!
So, thought you could make a fool of me in front of my entire court!
No, King! It wasn't my doing!
Guards, take him and throw him into the deepest, darkest dungeon we've got!
Yes, sir!
Save your pleas for the prison rats! Away with him, I say! Don't speak to me of forgiveness. What he did is unforgivable. He'll remain in that dungeon for the rest of his life.
Oh, Father, please! Have you forgotten that I found my voice again because of him?
Silence, daughter. I hear no more about it. Ladies, take your mistress away.
Come, my lady. What's happened to you, Father? There's been a terrible change in you.
She's right. I'm a different man than I was before. All because of this.
There's been nothing but trouble since that thing came into the castle.
What if there are more of these wretched violins spread throughout the kingdom? All of them singing songs that mock me.
That would be terribly bad for discipline, sire.
Search the kingdom. Find the man responsible for making this accursed instrument and bring him here.
Once, Your Majesty.
There must be some mistake. I've done nothing.
The king doesn't make mistakes. Welcome to your new home, old man.
Is it you, Father?
Pinocchio.
Oh, Father. But what's happened? Why have they put you here?
I don't understand it at all. They say it was because I made that violin of yours. Do you know anything about this, Pinocchio?
Oh, Father, it's all my fault.
Having failed to obtain more guns and ships from the magic violin, General Zool has decided to use the weapons already at his command to get even.
Listen, men! If the king and his cowardly ministers have their way, this kingdom will remain weak forever. We have to stop them. The king is old and tired. He must be replaced by someone younger and bolder. I hereby nominate myself! Fight bravely, and you will be well rewarded. As king, I promise to double your pay and give you steak and kidney pies every Sunday. Oh dear, I had no idea when I made it that violin would possess such wonderful powers.
We could use some of that violin's wonderful powers right now, couldn't we, Father?
I'm afraid it may be too late for that, Pinocchio.
What is it? What's happening?
Their eyes follow the column of smoke to the courtyard below, where a frightful scene is unfolding.
Oh no, we gotta stop him!
No, Father, you can't burn it. It doesn't belong to you. Penelope. Please, Mother, stop him. Don't let him do it.
If I can't use it, then no one will.
No!
Huh?
Your Majesty! General Zool's attacking the castle!
The general's attacking? Why, that traitor!
Forward, soldiers, forward to victory! Take the castle and everyone in it! And take them prisoner!
The violin. It's our only chance now.
What? General Zul has occupied the castle, you say?
Yes, Your Majesty. He's taken all your men prisoner.
I'm done for. There's nothing left for me to do but surrender.
Don't despair.
Oh, my dear.
At that moment, the king's last hope, indeed everyone's last hope, was racing toward the dungeons at the hands of the princess.
Pinocchio! Pinocchio, are you there? Oh!
Look, Father, it's the princess.
Pinocchio, I brought you the violin. We must hurry.
The castle is mine, Your Majesty.
Stay back! You've no right barging into the throne room. I warn you, keep away from the king.
I'm the king now, old man.
Leave him alone!
If I were you, I'd be a little more concerned about myself, Your Majesty.
As the wicked General Zul holds the king captive in the throne room below, Pinocchio plays on the magical violin in a desperate attempt to free himself from the dungeon and save the princess's father.
Huh? Why, I've never seen anything like it. What a wonderful violin. And to think that I made it myself.
It worked!
Amazing.
Oh, Pinocchio, are you all right?
What on earth's going on around here anyway?
It's awful! The general's captured the castle and he's holding my mother and father prisoner. Their lives are in great danger.
If your father hadn't been so greedy, this might not have happened.
You're his only hope. Save him with your violin.
You want me to save him? But he...
Please?
No, you're asking too much.
Why?
You saw him yourself. He tried to burn the violin, and he put Father and me in this dungeon. I can't help somebody who's so wicked, not even if he is your father.
I'm sorry for what he did to you. I know it was wrong, really wrong, but you must believe me, he's always been a kind and gentle man. Until that violin came into his life, that's what's changed him. Oh, please, please forgive him, Pinocchio.
But...
You must try to be understanding, my boy. The violin's wonderful powers make some men lose sight of their better nature. Why, even you have been guilty of such feelings, so don't judge him too harshly. If what she says about her father is true, he's a good man at heart, and it's up to us to give him a second chance.
Now, enough wasting time. You know what I'm here for. Give me the violin. Where is it?
I'm afraid that I burned the violin, General.
Stop playing games with me. You really expect me to believe that? Tell me the truth, or I swear it's the last lie you'll ever tell.
I'm telling you, I burned it. Nothing remains of it but cinder.
Well, I'll make a search of this castle from top to bottom, and if I should find the violin, I'll be very upset. Huh? Huh? Oh! What the devil's going on here? Huh? So burned to a crisp, was it? It seems in pretty good shape to me.
What should I do about Pinocchio?
Oh, nothing. Nothing at all. Let him keep on playing. I like the sound of that tune. Charming. You're playing a song in honor of my victory. Is that it, little fellow?
Uh-huh.
Excellent, excellent. Now do for me what you wouldn't do for the king. Play a tune that will summon up enough gold to fill his chamber. Then I just may be grateful enough to let you live, my friend.
Please grant me this one last wish.
And so Pinocchio played as he had never played before. The general was delighted with what he heard. As he listened to the passionate music fill the throne room, he felt certain that the violin was about to bring forth something beyond his wildest dreams. And he was right. For suddenly, before their eyes, the violin began to change, and from somewhere within it, there came forth a soldier. He was joined by another, and another, and soon there appear row upon row of soldiers, a huge army of ghostly warriors marching forth to battle.
Unbelievable! All these soldiers for me! This is even better than gold! Why, with this army, I can conquer the world! I can steal all the gold I want! Now, hold on!
Forward! Attack the general! Throw him and his men out of the castle at once!
Why, you must be mad!
Forward, men!
Stop! Hold on a minute! I'm sure we can come to a rational agreement!
Not long ago, I was ready to burn that violin.
Like an unstoppable flood, the army of soldiers poured out onto the field before the castle. The general and his men stood waiting for them.
Fire!
It's hopeless! Our bullets are just bouncing off them!
You cringing cows! Stand and fight, stand and... Uh-oh.
Oh, it's so nice to hear that violin played for no other reason than just to make music. Though I suppose we all do have a lot to thank it for. Thanks to it, the general was defeated and the prince's family was saved. We mustn't ever forget what a powerful weapon it is when used for good.
Don't worry, I won't. I'll never... Oh!
You never expected to see me again, did you? Now give me the violin. Ha ha! Well, well, what do you know? It looks like I've won after all. Ha 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 ha! Now then, let's see. I want soldiers, lots of soldiers. Give me an army fit for a king.
Oh, stop it! You're breaking it!
Piece of junk! So, you won't play for me, hmm? Well, then you won't play for anyone.
Look, Father, it's the owl!
What? What the devil?
Well, I've done the best I could with it. Why don't you try playing a little something on it?
The poor thing. My poor little violin. Let's see if you're better now.
Pinocchio, thank your father for putting me back together, and thank you for showing me so much of your world. Quite a lot has happened to all of us since your father fashioned me from the wood of the maple tree. But now I'm tired, my powers are nearly spent, and I wish to go home again. Build a fire, Pinocchio, and place me in the flames, so that my ashes may be returned to the heart of the maple tree from whence they came. Will you do this for me?
wish there was another way, but goodbye, violin.
Don't be sad, Pinocchio. It's best that I go. You have learned that my powers can only be used in the cause of good, and that is well. But there are others in your world that will never understand this, and for them I will always be a terrible temptation. I'm going now, but I will be with you always. Until we meet again, my friend.
And so Pinocchio did as he had been told. Once the embers had cooled, he gathered up all the ashes of the violin and carried them to where the shattered trunk of the old maple tree still stood. His heart full of sadness, he poured the ashes into the tree, restoring them whence they came. It was like saying goodbye to a friend.
Father, something's happening.
Why, it's sprouting a bud. You see, Pinocchio, the spirit of the maple tree is immortal. It never really dies. Just imagine in another 1,000 years or so.
Of course, by that time, this tiny bud will be a maple tree, just as big and wonderful as the old one. Isn't that right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll come back and make a new violin, huh?
Oh, well, if we don't, I'm sure someone will.